if you've been dealing with pain or symptoms in your shoulder, arm, even into your hands and fingers, and not really sure what the issue is, maybe this x-ray could shed some light on what you have going on. This specific x-ray was taken of an individual, 36 years old, 1 year's worth of chronic shoulder and upper arm pain, and never given any real answers to the exact cause of the problem. And the problem was getting worse. It was interfering with the quality of work, not able to concentrate properly, interfering with time with family and their 1-year-old child. So it's really starting to become a burden on their life. I'm Tom, I'm a spinal rehab specialist, and I help people solve chronic spine problems naturally from the comfort of your own home. So let's take a look at what we have going on here. Sent this patient out for x-rays of the neck and upper spine. What we're looking at here is a side view of the neck, obviously facing this way. What we want to see in that side view of the neck is a good fluid arcing curve out here towards the front of the body. Well, then it's going to dip backward between our shoulder blades, and then one more time curve towards the front of the body and the lower spine. But this S-shaped curvature is critical to the normal function of our body physically and neurologically. And what we do see with this specific patient is a loss of that normal curvature. So we're getting a flattening of the spine, and this becomes very damaging. Why? This thing up here, your skull on average weighs 12 to 15 pounds. So it's a very heavy object. And we have that good fluid arcing curve. All that pressure and stress gets placed back here on the joints. That's where we want it to be. Once we lose that normal curvature for whatever reason, well, all of a sudden that stress and pressure gets shifted and placed over the bones and disc, and they're not meant to handle that kind of pressure day in and day out. So they start to break down at a faster rate due to abnormal weight bearing. It's like watching somebody who walks around on the inside of their heels of their shoe all day. The inside of the heel wears real thin. The outside of the heel stays nice and thick. Well, that's from abnormal weight bearing, and your body follows those same exact rules. And that's why we start to see this degenerative process down into that mid to lower portion of the neck, that C5, C6, C7 range. And we classify this as degenerative joint disease, aka degenerative disc disease in your spine, all synonymous with arthritis. And that word degeneration is a very powerful term because it basically means the process will continue to go until you do enough to turn it off. And that's what we'll talk about in a quick moment. We can also then change our viewpoint here, take a look at an angled shot of the spine. So what we're looking at is an angled shot right down through the portion of the neck, and we're looking at the tunnels where the nerves exit off their spine. And what we want to see up here is that tunnel nice, big, and wide open. What we do see down in these lower portion, that C5, C6, C7 range, is those tunnels are starting to get very narrow and compressed. And this causes a loss of mobility, starts to put pressure, compression on the nerves. And if we change it and we look at one more view on the opposite side, basically see the same exact thing where the tunnels up top are nice and open, but these ones down in that lower portion, again, that C5 through C7 range are starting to become very compressed. And this is what starts to cause problems. And that branch of nerves coming from C5 through C7, well, that branch feeds everything from shoulder all the way into your hands and fingers. And it'll cause problems like pain, tingling, numbness, weakness, sensitivity to heat, cold, touch. Doesn't mean you're gonna have all those problems, but once those nerves are getting irritated and damaged, it opens the door for those problems to exist. Now, this is correctable, all right? Once we start to get this process going on, once we start to get this damage going on, our game plan has to reflect the damage that is taking place here. So we have to go above and beyond some simple stretching, strengthening, muscle release work. We have to start to drive enough motion into these joints and discs to turn off that degenerative process. And if we want long-term correction, we have to start building a better curvature in the spine. And that's what I train people to do at home. If you're having problems, you want to see where your spine is in terms of its health and its resilience, take our 2-minute quiz. Literally takes 2 minutes to take it. See where your spine is in terms of its health and resilience. If you want deeper answers, set up a time for you and I to talk. 10 to 15 minutes of your time. See exactly what you have going on and exactly how we can help you. I look forward to working with you. Let's get moving.